Okay, today's video is about looking at mixed angle rules. So that's taking some of the rules that we know already and mixing them up and having a look at trying to solve some problems. So here we've got is a pretty simple rule. We know that that's a straight line. This part must add up to 180 degrees. So for our calculation, what we have to do is that the other three angles must add up to 180 as well. So 180 is equal to x plus 83 plus 75. So then what we can do is we can work that part out. So 83 and 75 gives us x um, plus 158 equals 180. So rearranging that, x must equal 180 take away 158, which leaves us with 22 degrees. So the unknown angle there must be 22 degrees. So notice how am I setting out? I'm using an algebraic way. The other thing that I've missed is my reasoning, and that's because it angles on straight line. Now you might notice that I haven't used words, whole words. So we've got the angle symbol, we've got ST for straight, and the word line. So it just explains that's an official shorthand that you can use. Otherwise, you can just write out the words as they sound. Here's another problem, but this time it's slightly different. Rather than having one unknown angle, we've got two. We've got x here and x here. So x in mathematics is generally the go-to variable, but generally when we use the same variable means that they're the same size. So what we're saying is that this angle is the same size as this angle. So what we can do is work out our answer from that. Obviously there's no straight line, but we have got angles at a point. So we know that they should add up to 360, that's right. So 360 should add up to 147 plus 41 plus 87 plus x plus x. And then we can simplify that down by adding them together, which equals 275 degrees plus x, so meaning that there is 2x. So the next thing is then to have a look at the x's. So both x's together, 2x, must be equal to 360, take away 275, which gives us 85 degrees. So both those angles together equals 85. That means that one of those angles, if we divide 85 by 2, must be 42.5 degrees and 42.5 degrees. Otherwise, those angles would not be the same and they wouldn't use the same letter x. So tidy this up, x is equal to 85 degrees divided by 2. Okay, with this problem, it's slightly different. So we can see that there is the 79 and the y are on a straight line, and also the 79 on the x. Now when that sort of thing happens, that should bring up an easier way that we can work out an answer or another angle is that means that there is a vertically opposite angle there. So if we take a look at this line here and this line here, what we should notice is that 18 and E are vertically opposite each other. So starting off looking at trying to work out E is that 79 degrees must equal the same as E plus 18. Now, a number of you might look at a question like this and straight away put E is equal to 79, and that's because they're not, that line that we've got here is not straight. All right, so between E and 18. Because it's not straight through the other side, you can't use the vertically opposite rule. So again, give a reason. Okay. Oh, where'd it go? There we go. Vertically opposite angles. So we can work that out then. E must be equal to 79, take away 18, which gives us 61 degrees. Going back a step, we still haven't worked out X and Y. So we know, first of all, that 180 is equal to X plus 79. The reason for that is angles on straight line. We can do the maths on that, and X is equal to 101 degrees. 180 take away 79. So we've got 61 degrees here. We know this is 101. Now, because if we look at those red lines that we put in earlier, X and Y are vertically opposite each other. So the easy thing to do is to go X is equal to Y, which means Y must equal 101 degrees. The reason for that is vertically opposite. Okay, so you must give your answer with a reason. We could have solved working out Y with a straight line, and that's why there's no set ways with a lot of these questions. You just choose a rule and find your way to the answer. This question is an interesting one. There is no there are no numbers, they're just variables. What I want you to do is pause the video, have a think about this one, and see if you can work out what the size of those angles are. So hopefully you had a go at that. So the trick of this one is to use a little bit of algebra. And so angles at a point, so 60 is equal to 5x plus 5x plus 6x. And the reason for that is angles at point. So what does that mean? If we add all those variables together, so we've got all those x's together, 360 is equal to 5 plus 5, which is 10, plus 6 is 16x. Now to work out what one of those x's are equal to, we take x is equal to 360 divided by 16. And that gives us on the calculator? $22.5, which is what I'm sure you all got in your head. Now, big mistake. A lot of people look at a question like this, they go through all the hard work of getting x is equal to 22.5. They first of all forget the units, but second of all, that's not what the question's asking us. The question's asking us, oh, sorry, that's not the size of those angles. What is the size of those angles is not x, but 5x. So 5 times x. So 5x is equal to 5 times 22.5. Which gives us 112.5 degrees. Means this one must be 112.5 degrees for this angle. And then the last angle, 6x, is 6 times 22.5, which is 135. Okay, 135. Now, what we should have realized that because in the x answer for x, we've got three angles. If you take 22 times 0.5 times 3, it doesn't equal 360. However, if you add these three values, 112.5 plus 135, you end up with 360. So this last question is one that combines all the different rules, and there's a number of angles to find. What I want you to do is pause the video, have a go at them on the paper, get the answer, and write the answers down in your book, and then restart the video to have a look at the answers. So stop your video now. Okay, so hopefully you had to go at all these. Let's start with the nice and easy ones, working out the vertically opposite answers. So we've got 143, because W is vertically opposite. That one there. You've got 88 for Y, because it's vertically opposite there. And you've got 130, because it's vertically opposite there. And then the other one's just on a straight line or on a point. So you've got 143, so V must be equal to 37. T must be equal to 50. U must be equal to 105. And then X must be equal to 90. T must equal 50. So the other thing is to make sure we write our answers with reasons. And there we go there. So go to your lesson page and you can go through the lesson for this one. Make sure you're including your answers and your reasoning. And then don't forget to upload your photos if you can. Because there's been problems with OneNote, it may be a good idea to make sure you keep a copy of your work, photos of your work, so that you don't have to go through and take photos of everything again.